Hi, this is Jason from Drunk Dorks, and today I wanted to show you a little something I've been working on. I've picked back up on my indie game for a little bit lately. Again, no guarantee when this will actually be completed, but I've gotten a lot of work done and I want to share something. What you're looking at is a map of a dungeon level, and all the little squares are events. And what these particular events are little lasers that prevent you from passing and hurt you if you run into them. The idea here is that there's three entrances, all into this one big map, and each one is basically color coded by the majority of the barriers there and the switch at the end that turns them off. And once you've gone through all three and have knocked down all three of these barriers, you can get the item you need in the middle. Now, I've done a few things with that to make it slightly more interesting. First of all, um, until you turn off all three laser colors, each area can only be entered and exited through its own door. Additionally, the pathway is longer on the way in because of the lasers blocking you, and the way back can be simpler because the pathway will be more unblocked because of these. However, I've also blocked off treasure items behind different colored lasers. So for instance, this is the red pathway with a red switch at the end that turns off the red lasers. However, if you turn off the green and blue ones first or come back after you've done so, you'll be able to get an extra treasure right here where the mouse pointer is. Additionally, there is a specific order you can do these in to do the smallest amount of backtracking, but that's up to the player to figure out. The other thing, though, is, like I said, once you've cleared all three of these switches, this whole middle area here is open, and you can then go into and out of any area you want freely without having to worry about which way you come in. However, where you come in originally is a one-way arrow, and until you turn the lasers off or use an exit item, you can't get out until you hit that switch. If this seems pretty confusing, it probably kind of is, so let me show you it in action here. I haven't put in any monster fights yet, so we won't have to worry about, nonsense slowing it down. But I'll give you a little demonstration here. First, we've got to get into the room. There's a little cloud man. Let's start over here in the red path. I kind of realized when I was working on this map again that my strive for partial realism in map size kind of makes all these areas unnecessarily big, but I think I'm just kind of going to go with it. I like the sense that there is kind of a mundane reality, even with my cartoony graphics, but that the actual areas where most of the adventuring of the game takes place are, well, like this, a little odd. So this is the red area. You see I can't go back against that arrow, and these do in fact hurt me. He took a little damage there. But now I have to weave back and forth, so that means more fights on the way in theory, than on the way out. And here you can see what I meant about the treasures being blocked off depending on which areas you open first. I was also a little leery doing this, as each square of these lasers is a separate event. I was kind of worried at first that they wouldn't all be in sync, but everything's been in sync all the way across the map. So here's the first switch, and the red lasers are now off. And I'm not going to backtrack and get all the treasure because you get the idea, but here's one that was blocked by a red laser that I can now get, and here it's simple to go past. These arrow things were inspired by the Adventures of Lolo for the NES, so you can enter from any side that isn't the arrow point. It's not just like one way through. Alright, let's go to the next one. It should be... I feel kind of bad too. I put doors in for every classroom, like a real school would have, and most of them go nowhere. But let's continue. Now see, this big area here blocked you off, so if you hadn't hit the red laser first, you'd actually have to go out of your way to go around it. Now for exploration's sake, I hope people explore the maps anyway, but if you're just trying to get through, picking the order you go through the areas, especially on a replay of the game, would definitely help you on speeding through it. But you see, I had to go all the way around through that way. And now if I don't even want those treasures, I can just walk straight down. And I'm out. And there are little hints as to which doors you need to go in, but for brevity's sake, I'm just showing you the puzzle. Now this one here, you either go up or down, and each side has a slight shortcut depending on if you've hit one of the other switches. Let's get this treasure. Oh, how thoughtful. And look, the green one's off, so let's get this. A plastic coin. Oh look, it's got a regen ability. I don't think I'll equip it though, there's nothing to fight. And that was the last laser, now I can go to the center. And look, there's a sparkly thing here. Kind of think he's right about that. That was a ridiculous amount of work. But I'm not going to read it. I'm going to let the eventual players read it. And see now, like I said, I can go out any way I want. And I'm just going to go this way. But I'm actually going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed watching. This is the kind of thing I'm working on to try and make running through dungeons a little bit more than just figuring out a maze or getting from point A to point B and fighting monsters. And I hope you're looking forward to this game as much as I'm looking forward to completing it. Bye!